Okay, let's unpack this. Um, Imagine a path to like a genuinely great career.
Mm-hmm.
One where you actually earn money while you're learning the ropes,
Right.
trains you for success, from day one, and get this, no college degree needed and absolutely zero debt.
Yeah. It sounds almost too good to be true for a lot of folks, doesn't it?
It really does.
Because the default thinking, for so many people, is just college. That's the only path they see to a secure, high-paying job.
Exactly. Opportunities like the ones we're talking about just fly under the radar.
They really do.
And, well, that's exactly why we wanted to do this deep dive. We've been looking at some source material that really puts a spotlight on this whole overlooked world.
Yeah, digging into it.
Our mission here is basically to pull out the key stuff, what this path actually is, why it matters, why it's so powerful, and maybe most importantly, who it's actually for.
And we're talking about apprenticeships.
Apprenticeships, yeah. And the core promise that jumps out from this material is incredibly clear.
Yeah.
They pay you to learn. They train you to win. And like we said, no college required, full stop.
And this isn't some, tiny niche thing either. The scale here is, well, it's significant.
How significant?
Well, just looking at one platform, Indeed, the source points out there are over 11,000 apprenticeship jobs listed right now.
11,000. Wow.
And that's just what's, easily visible online. The real number out there, probably a lot higher.
Just that number alone is.
Yeah.
It's pretty eye-opening. Kind of immediately pushes back on some big myths, right?
Oh, absolutely. The source material tackles those head-on, those assumptions that just stop people cold.
Like what?
Well, like, think you need college? Nope. Think you need connections? You don't. Think you need someone's permission? Absolutely not. It really just cuts through all that.
Okay, so if you don't need college or connections,
Mm-hmm.
what do you need then, according to this source?
What it highlights is you need a plan. Yeah. And the argument is that apprenticeships are the plan. They give you that structured pathway. You bypass the usual gatekeepers. You get straight into training. And you start earning right away.
Okay, let's talk about the earning part.
Right.
Because that's probably one of the most surprising bits.
Definitely.
The source uses this phrase I really like, proof of paycheck careers.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets specific about the starting pay, like while you're still in training.
Yeah, and we're not talking minimum wage here, not even close. The numbers cited are like $18 to $30 an hour.
Just to start, while learning.
Exactly. That's real money coming in while you're picking up valuable skills, especially when you compare it to, racking up debt in college and not earning anything.
Right. It's a totally different financial picture from day one. And then what about after you finish the program, the potential then?
See, that's where it gets really interesting. The source suggests that starting pay often doubles once you're fully qualified. Yeah. And it says many people hit six figures within just a few years. So this isn't just about getting a job. It's about setting you up for a career with real upward mobility, high trajectory.
And, when people hear apprenticeship, maybe they still picture just a couple of traditional trades.
Right, like maybe plumbing or electrical work, important jobs, but
the variety listed in this source material is just, wow. It's everything from RN, surgical tech.
Yeah, and welding, plumbing, pipe fitting, sure, but also data analysts, power line workers.
IT support, business operations, healthcare administration.
The source pretty much says you name it, and there's likely an apprenticeship pathway for it now. It's not just one sector. It's healthcare, tech, trades, business.
Yeah.
It's incredibly broad.
That's fascinating. And it presents these roles not as like dead-end jobs, but as actual launch pads.
Right.
How does it describe that kind of progression?
Well, the idea is you start maybe in an entry-level apprenticeship spot. You learn on the job. You get the related instruction.
So you're stacking skills.
Exactly. You're stacking skills, building your value through that hands-on experience. And as the source puts it, the money catches up fast.
Okay.
So your growing capability, your skills, directly translate into more earning potential. It's a clear path upward.
Okay, so if you've got these opportunities, real pay during training, great potential after, huge variety, why aren't more people jumping on this? What's the holdup?
The source suggests it's mainly a visibility problem. People just aren't taught to look for these. They don't recognize them.
How so?
Well, you scroll through job boards, right? You see entry level maybe, and you assume low pay, no future.
Yeah, you filter it out mentally.
Exactly. You completely overlook these apprenticeship listings that offer something totally different. They're kind of hidden in plain sight because of our assumptions.
That makes sense. And the source talks about the feel of these jobs, too. Calls them freedom jobs. What's that about?
It paints a picture of a different work culture. It mentions things like no micromanagers, no clock punching in that sort of traditional soul-crushing way. And maybe the biggest one, no ceiling over your head.
Ah, no ceiling. That connects back to the launchpad idea, doesn't it?
Precisely. It implies you have more autonomy, and your growth, your earnings, they're tied directly to your effort and skill development, not some arbitrary limit.
I like that. Your value dictates your trajectory. So who can actually do this? Do you need a perfect background? Loads of experience already?
Nope. The source is really clear on this. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need prior experience in that specific field.
So what's the main thing they're looking for?
According to this material, it boils down to the willingness to work and the discipline to finish the program. That's it.
Really?
Yeah. It says apprenticeships are focused on your potential, your drive, not so much your past resume.
So it doesn't matter if you're 18, fresh out of school, or maybe you're 38, looking for a complete change.
Doesn't matter. The message is, if you show up, you commit, you put in the work, you finish the program, you can genuinely change your life.
Okay. And the programs themselves, how long do they usually take?
They vary. Some are intensive, maybe 12 weeks. Others, for more complex fields, might be 3 or 4 years.
Right.
But the key thing, the source stresses, is that all of them move you forward. They build your skills and earning power without putting you in debt.
That really hits home on that phrase again, the blue-collar path to 6 figures.
And the source just states it plainly. And it works.
Does it matter where you live? Are these mostly big city things?
Not at all. The source shows these listings are nationwide. Big cities, yes, but also rural areas. And the opportunities change daily. New ones pop up all the time.
Okay. Nationwide availability, constantly updated. That's good to know.
Yeah, it's not some localized phenomenon.
You know, the source uses this really powerful metaphor near the end, calling apprenticeships tools.
Tools? How so?
Not just jobs, but tools. Like tools to break out of cycles, maybe bad job cycles or financial ones. Tools to escape that endless scrolling through, depressing job listings.
Ah, okay. Tools to build something better.
Exactly. Tools to build something permanent, something valuable in your life, in your career.
But the source also adds a crucial point, right? Having the tool isn't enough.
Right. It emphasizes that opportunity belongs to people who actually move, who take action.
You have to start. You have to take that next step.
Yeah. And it frames that curiosity like, if you're hearing this and thinking, okay, how do I find these? What do they pay near me? How do I apply? That's the natural next step.
That's the beginning of the path towards what the source calls forever money, building something sustainable.
So wrapping this up.
Yeah.
When you look at everything we pulled from the source material in our deep dive, what's the biggest takeaway for you?
For me, it's that the path we kind of sketched out at the start, the great career, no degree, no debt, paid training.
One that sounded maybe too good to be true.
Yeah, that one. It isn't just wishful thinking. It's real. It's accessible. There are employers actively hiring people into these programs right now.
And it's accessible to you, the listener.
Yeah.
Because, as the source says, it values your willingness, your potential, more than your background or connections.
Exactly. So if you've been feeling kind of stuck, maybe scrolling through job sites, not seeing anything that clicks.
Or just tired of guessing about the future, waiting for some big break.
Yeah, or just settling for jobs that feel like dead ends. This source material is basically saying,
it's time to trade that guessing and waiting and settling for a career that pays you to build your own future. Freedom, opportunity, they aren't just things you find.
They're things you build, and apprenticeships. They're like a practical set of tools to start that construction project right now.